to get the tickets is Katy Perry herself will tell you to call in, but I can't play you that because if I play you that, you know how people listen with one ear right now? They're just waking up and getting the crusties out of their eyes. They're going to think it's time because she says call right now. I can't play that because she says call right now. It's not time to call right now. But she's going to tell you when to call right now. When you hear Katy Perry say call right now to win tickets to my tour, you have to call us. And our line here for you to get directly to us, our studio line is 833-390-KRBE. Not right now. That's why I'm not playing her voice telling you to call because she says right now. And it's not right now. We're just telling you she's coming to Houston. Oh, yes, Katy Perry's going back on tour, guys. Katy Perry is going back on tour.
That's a fun show, too. That's just going to be think of all the hits.
Yep.
It's just going to be nonstop hits. So it's going to be a blast.
No, she's got new music and she's got, of course, all her hits. You know, her Teenage Dream album was monstrous. She had 6 number ones on that.
Jeez.
That was amazing.
That's hard to wrap your head around. 6 number ones.
And her videos.
It doesn't happen anymore.
No, it doesn't.
It really doesn't. Remember when she did the Super Bowl and she came out in that giant gold lion for Roar?
Oh, yeah. That was cool.
And when she was dropping the
shark
for that. And the Left Shark took over the Super Bowl show. The halftime show. I didn't even notice that when it was happening. Everyone talked about that Left Shark. I didn't even notice
the guy in the shark
There
outfit.
was so much going on. I go, okay, there's 2 sharks, but the Left Shark is the one that really became the thing. And I was like, okay, well, Left Shark, here we go. So here's how it's going to happen. She's going to be at Toyota Center May the 7th. The tickets go on sale Friday at livenation.com. But in the meantime, you will hear Katy Perry tell you to call us to win tickets for her show. Katy Perry, Toyota Center, May 7th. Tickets go on sale this Friday. KRBE's got your hookup. Of course we do. Woo! Of course we do.
I was looking through the stat here because we talk about this, I think, once a year.
Okay.
About your favorite child.
Oh, if you have a favorite child.
We always ask people that, and then people do call in.
And actually openly admit that?
I say people have a favorite child at the moment. Like, at that
the one
moment,
that's giving the least amount of grief in that
I think
moment.
it changes. You're right. I think it changes.
I can see that.
I'd say you're like,
you love them. I think you could love them all equally, but you can have a favorite at that time.
In the moment. Like, oh, they're really
I saw this poll, though, that says 46% of people feel one of their siblings is their favorite. So 40% think their favorite. 6% said the parents showed no favoritism. The kids said the parents said 6% of them show no favoritism. They keep them all equal. Like at Christmas time, you get 10 gifts, you get 10 gifts. Because some kids are hooked on that number. It doesn't matter.
They
are.
You get one huge gift that is equal to those 10, but kids don't see it that way.
It was just one gift, right?
Yeah, because they don't understand the money concept.
40% of people think that they are the favorite. Did y'all ever think y'all were the favorite?
Absolutely.
Of course I was.
Yeah.
I thought I was.
2 girls, only boy.
But
you're
then
the only girl.
Connor came around.
Yeah, Connor took you out.
Younger brother.
That's why you were so mad.
Your older brother? Nah. People are like, you have an older brother? I'm like, yes.
Why do you think that your older brother took you out?
No, it's a younger brother.
Younger brother.
He's the baby.
Because he's the baby.
Mm-hmm.
He's the boy.
Still?
And Eric is the baby. That's why he's like, yeah, he's
exactly.
Like,
do you think he's
baby
still
boy.
number one over you?
Of course.
Yeah. Except for now I have a grandbaby. So I'm kind of like, oh, look what I have.
It's
you don't have
2-for-1
that,
deal.
Connor.
That's why
I
your
have
mom
provided them with grandchildren.
That's
Exactly.
why Connor's like her baby now because you're too busy with other, with your kids.
Well, I'm
But
seeing
she can
her
still
on
baby
Tuesday, and she is so excited because we're going to South Carolina. My parents are coming with us, and Connor's coming too, which I'm so excited because Connor's my favorite.
Roula, did you
And
feel
Connor
like
used to
you?
not be your favorite.
Did you feel like you were
Older brother. Ouch.
the fave?
No, I was definitely not the favorite, but if you ask my older sisters, I was not favorited. I got away with murder because I wasn't paid attention to.
Oh.
I was able to do whatever I wanted.
Sometimes parents mellow too. Like you were not first in line. You're in the middle.
4th kid. They were like 4th out of 5.
Oh, yeah. You're towards the end.
My sister had the hardest run than my brother.
Who's their favorite? I feel
Everybody's
like
favorite is the youngest boy.
Yeah.
Terry.
My brother Terry is everybody's favorite. Even amongst the siblings, if we had to pick who's your favorite, it's Terry. Because he's like the gentle giant. He's the baby. And when you have you have 5 kids, and all of us were about 18 to 22 months apart, but then he and I are almost 4 years apart, kind of like the same philosophy with you, Sam, and your brother came so many years later.
Right.
When the bigger the gap is, the more chance you have to appreciate it. Like
That's
if I had I had my kids, boom, boom, boom. If I had a 4th kid that was 5 years younger than my son, all 3 of my kids before that 4th kid would be like, favorite one is the 4th one.
You're not competing against each other.
And you remember
It's
like
different. You
babying them
yes.
and you remember them when they were babies and stuff like that. When
Yeah,
they're
but
really
when you're
close together, you
older,
remember that.
When you're old, like I'm the oldest of 3, and my baby brother Kevin There's a 10-year gap between the two of us. He got away with murder. It was insane. And that made me mad.
Well, because in every first sibling had to take on the most responsibility.
Yes.
And I was really
You were
hugging.
the example maker.
Yeah, I was really hugging on my daughter over the weekend. My oldest daughter is 13. And I just was hugging on her. And I said, because I was thinking when she was 6, the other ones were so much smaller than her. And I was so in the trenches. And at 6, I was like expecting her, come on, you're 6, come on. But when my baby, the baby of the babies, was 6, I'm like, oh, he's only 6.
Then you're like, oh crap, I forgot. I treated
I
another
just
one
was
like
really
an
hugging on
adult.
her, like, hey, you know what? I just really love you so much, and I know you always have to like hold it down. Like I acknowledge that, you know what I mean? Because by nature, I think the oldest kid takes on like a responsible
Oh, for sure.
thing. Like I'm married to an oldest child. My husband is the oldest of his brood. I'm the baby. It's a really crazy thing.
I think I don't know. I just feel like these older siblings feel like they're the best.
Well,
like,
it was put on them.
I did
Well, you
everything
feel
for you.
like
I
you
had
had
so
to
hard in my
pave
life.
the way.
Like
but
they
it was
think,
put on them.
Are you
my
the
sister,
baby,
my sister
Eric?
does that too. She's like, oh, my life was so much harder. I'm like,
Are you the baby, Eric?
whatever. Yeah.
He's the baby and the only boy. He's got 2
Yeah.
older sisters. Of course, your oldest sister, Tammy,
Oh.
had a lot put on her because the oldest girl
I had to
takes
do all
on
this stuff.
the second mother role.
It's like, whatever.
What
Unless
was it
you're
you
Sam
had to
and she
hear the
hates the
most that
baby.
drove you nuts?
I just like, we have those arguments when she comes down here. She's like, my life was so much harder. I'm like, you win. Here's a cookie.
Oh my God.
I'm like, last I checked, you were a grown up when my parents died. I was still in high school.
Oh,
so
you had it harder.
That's my trump card on you.
It's just a lot of like,
You can
say all
I
you
did this,
want.
you did that. That's how it is with Kyle and
I do all this work. I'm like, I never saw you in the farm. I was doing that since I was 8.
Yeah.
I was like my uncle. I was doing things that aren't even legal now for like
Child
Kids to be
labor
around.
laws.
child labor laws, mixing chemicals together on the back of a truck, put the tailgate down, mixing things. The wind's blowing into my mouth. I didn't have anything covered.
Oh, my.
I explain a few things in my life.
Probably.
But yeah, the stuff that my sister never did. She goes, I did that stuff. I'm like, no, you didn't.
Is
So we
it
fight
so-
about the stupid things that we can't prove.
If
'cause-
you're just tuning in, we're talking about is there a favorite child or not? There's a stat, and Eric said that many people will say, well, I have a favorite one right now. This texter says, I about disowned 2 of my kids this past weekend after
What?
they played a TikTok trick on me. FaceTime me with this and sends a picture of some scary thing. I don't know, something scared
What is
them. And then no favorites right now. So
No
yeah,
favorites?
No
like
favorites
right
right
now,
now.
there's no favorites.
What about
Like,
you,
they are all
Kevin's
in
quiet over here.
Kevin,
trouble.
come
I feel
on.
like his brother had to be the
Where are
favorite.
you in the lineup?
Oh God, I'm at the point of guilt because my dad will get, and he's done this like 3 years in a row. My dad will get me and Booster Christmas gifts, but not my brother.
Why?
He feels like since he got something for my brother's kids, that counts.
What?
Well, it does.
So he doesn't
So-
give your brother a gift. He gives
Right,
his children.
he spends the
gifts.
same amount on both families, I guess. But my brother and Cherie, they don't really get anything. But me and
How
my
did this
brother.
come up now in January?
Had this come up now?
Yeah.
Well, this happens every year, and I
year.
think back
It's
we're
been
talking
happening.
about favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and
Kevin's getting like cool stuff. Look at this cashmere sweater I got.
not really. I
But
mean,
I
it's
mean,
Lowe's gift card,
If,
but
he's
still.
spending money on the grandchild, I think that covers the base.
That sucks as a kid. That would suck to see
But
your
you're like,
dad
but
give
you're
a
my
present
dad.
to your brother and not you.
No, I think is your brother really upset?
I mean, he said it's kind of awkward, and
He's
plus
upset.
my brother and I, we go in together on gifts for my dad, and we did that this year.
Yeah.
So, and then the other thing is that my brother iced out my mom over Christmas this past Christmas, so he's not the favorite right now.
and he usually was because he's the younger of the
What
two
do you mean
boys.
iced
You're the
her
oldest.
out?
He's the younger.
He went without her and did not invite her to Colorado to go visit with the brother-in-law and the little cousins. So, they did the other side of the family. And then when they got back, they felt like, they didn't have any time together as a family. So they just wanted no one there. Well, I
Not even
showed
your
up.
mom.
No, not my mom, but I came for like a night or two. And so that was awkward. And so my mother was like, I just don't understand why your brother would do such a thing. I mean, so
Are we going to have to wipe this from the podcast?
Yeah.
I know.
in the hole?
Yes.
I've kind of been the favorite, I guess, for a little while. And plus, my brother says since I live so far away, I am celebrated when I get home. Like, oh my
Yes.
God, Kevin's home. Get the Mountain Dew out. He's coming from Texas. Do you know how far? That is
He's
away. Yes. I was always celebrated for the last.
They don't have Mountain Dew in
20,
Texas.
20 years.
Get that Mountain Dew out.
Get the apple pies ready.
Oh my goodness, he's coming with a boyfriend.
Boyfriend. Now
That's funny.
Yeah.
So for your whole childhood, Colin was the favorite, but
I
now
think so.
you are the
He was the
celebrated
baby,
one.
and then he fell out of grace.
I'm sure you don't rub that in his face.
No, what I rub in his face is that, like, I'm like, hey, who's the oldest? When we sit in front of waiters, hey, who's the oldest?
And did you say, I'm taking mom on a vacation. We're going on a cruise.
Oh, that was the other thing.
They went on a cruise.
He was invited on that vacation, and he decided not to go. But he went to Turks and Caicos with some of his friends from the neighborhood,
But not his-
instead of Thanksgiving with mom and me and Booster on the cruise ship.
And there's
Ruh-roh.
Kevin needling.
All right, y'all go to the listener line if you want to give us your thoughts on favorite child or favoritism or lack of favoritism. 713-278-VENT. Coming up next, a really important Roses update. We want to check in with
yeah.
Sierra after what happened last Thursday regarding her sister's boyfriend, Alan. We all felt like something was really shifty.
Scammer.
When it came up to whether he's a real guy or not, never seen him in person, wants to meet her in a hotel. You'll get the recap. We'll get the update next on the Roula and Ryan Show.
From the Bell Furniture.
Now, time for a Roula and Ryan's Roses update.
We're going to do this on the air.
104.1 KRBE.
Right. Parental discretion is advised. This was a different kind of roses because Sierra was doing this for her sister. She's dating a guy named Alan.
Stacy is. Yeah.
Stacy, her sister. They've never met in person. They've never FaceTime. He claims, I'm on an oil rig. I can't do it. And then all of a sudden, hey, I'm going to be in Houston. Meet me in this hotel room. And please don't tell anybody.
Yeah, we were like, no. Too many red flags. So Sierra wanted us to call him up with the number that Stacy had for this guy, Alan. And, usually if you listen to Roula and Ryan's Roses on Thursdays proper, then, I always do this thing where I have this list of employees from your company and you're going to get this. That's why you're getting these red roses as part of some bonus. I didn't go that route with him. I just straight up pretended like I was from his company. I was calling him from his company and he was not buying that. He was giving me a lot of grief about how I got this number. Here's how it sounded.
No, this isn't making any sense. Only one person should have this number.
Oh, who's that?
Yeah, Stacy. Stacy should have it.
And why wouldn't I have it if this is your phone number?
Because I only gave it to her.
But you work for us.
Human Resources doesn't have this phone number.
Well, this is the number I have, Alan.
No, I'm going to hang up if you don't tell me what's going on right now.
All right, hang on a second. Alan, you're actually with the Roula and Ryan Show on 104.1 KRBE. That's Roula. I'm Ryan. Eric is here. And we have somebody named Sierra on the line. Sierra, you want to tell Alan what's going on?
Hi, Alan.
Hello.
I'm actually Stacy's sister. And I honestly have some questions for you because I want to know why you told her to lie about your relationship and keep it secret from everyone.
Why would Stacy give you this number? I told her specifically not to share it with anybody.
Okay, well, I still got it, and I still have questions.
You know what I found very interesting was when Roula asked you whose name it would be, you didn't answer right away. It sounded like you were scrolling or something. You had to figure it out.
Yeah, pretty much you know your girlfriend's name instantly.
Stacy's sister has come to us because she's worried that Stacy is dating someone who's lying to her. Apparently, Stacy has never seen you, never FaceTime. Y'all have never met. Y'all are claiming to be in a relationship. And she told her sister Sierra, when you come to town, you want to meet her in a hotel, not at the place
what's
where
your
you
angle?
supposedly live. What's the deal with you?
Stacy's my business, like your business, and you guys have no right to bother me.
I really want to know more about the FaceTiming, though. Like, why you just could never show any kind of call or any kind of FaceTime for her. Like, make the time. You're on an oil rig, right? You're not there right now, right? So why don't we FaceTime right now?
Listen, I don't have time for this.
You clearly have enough time. You're free for a minute or two.
Yeah, you just cost your sister a relationship. Have a good one.
Oh, he just hung up.
He's freaking out or something.
Yeah,
That's
this
weird.
this
hold on.
dude is a scammer.
Hold on. He said something very positive, though, Sierra. You just cost your sister a relationship. Like, are you guys solid and she trusts you and believes you? Or do y'all have tension and you're trying to bring this to the table and she's going to feel judged by you and run to him?
And mad and embarrassed.
We've always been super strong, but this is also the first time, she's lied and kept a relationship secret.
Well, she's going to find out that you went through her DMs, and that's going to have her pretty angry, and that we called this guy that has been really getting into her head.
Are you ready for that blowback?
I mean, I don't really have a choice now.
No, she really didn't, but I think she did the right thing. I think we all think she did the right thing.
Right, so let's check in and see what's happened since that phone call as we welcome Sierra back to the Roula and Ryan Show. Hi, Sierra.
Good morning.
Hey, Sierra, so did you have any kind of confrontation with your sister?
Yeah, you could say that. I did come clean and tell her that, like, I stole your phone and snooped through your DMs. And I want to point out that she was very pissed off about that.
Well, most people are going to be. If you go through their private information, nobody likes that.
Yeah, nobody.
I mean, I understand. I get it. It's, choice I made. But he's also chosen to ghost her, and she blames me for ruining a perfect relationship.
Perfect.
They never met before. She's never seen his face.
And the guy only wanted to meet in a hotel room.
Yep.
I mean, you were literally saving her from what everybody knows with our guts are telling us this is bad vibes all around.
I don't know what he was going to do or what his plan was, but it didn't seem like it was good.
For all we know, you could have just saved her from a trafficker.
But also, we're scared now because what if she's lying to you about continuing to communicate with him? Maybe she's chasing him down like, sorry, my sister did that. Please forgive me.
Yeah, keep an eye on her.
Yeah, how do you know?
I'm definitely going to keep an eye on her. And I actually told my mom about everything and had her listen. And she's same feelings, like super worried, but she's very thankful that I did do what I did because she has the same feelings as we all do. Like, it could be a trafficker. Like, clearly something is not right with this guy. So we're kind of letting her cool down, giving her some space, but I regret nothing.
See, I'd be worried that, down the line, she's going to fall for this again. I mean, first of all, just accepting a blind DM and starting a relationship based on that.
Well, people always accept DMs. It's not the end of the
I understand that part. I understand that part.
Not FaceTiming, not getting real information,
That's
not
what I'm
ever
talking
meeting
about.
in person, not wanting to meet it where you say you live. I mean, it's weird.
I wonder if there's
I hope
anybody
it's bad.
listening like right now that is in a relationship and they've never met the person.
Oh, yeah.
You're dating somebody in Canada, a model.
What was the huge
you're
scandal
in
with the
Oklahoma
kid,
City,
Minty Teo?
you know?
That huge scandal with Minty Teo.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Minty Teo was humiliated by
catfished.
somebody they'd never met. And he
By
swear
a
to God,
dude.
he thought he was in love with this girl.
But he got photos at least, right?
Yeah, he got photos of a fake girl.
I guess FaceTime wasn't big then.
No.
Yeah, I don't think
no.
he FaceTimed her.
Couldn't FaceTime. Well, look, I'm glad that you are looking out for her, and I hope that she isn't trying to hide now and get shifty about trying to communicate with him, because if anything, to Eric's point, he might have either turned up the heat and been like, look what your sister did, and I'm the one that loves you, and they don't believe, they don't.
Nah,
think that you're
Roula, I
smart.
think that he basically just got scared. Like, oh, somebody's onto this scam that I'm doing. This isn't
I
worth
hope
the
so.
manpower that I put into it.
I don't know what the scam is unless it's trafficking, but
It's something not
money,
right.
something creepy.
And maybe the money question was going to come. I don't know, but it had been a month and no money had been asked for yet. So there's too many weird scenarios out there. It's just better you did this and got her out of it. And
You're
I
a
hope
good
she
sister.
truly is out of it,
Yes.
Sierra. Thanks so much for calling our show and letting us help you with this.
Yep. Thank y'all. I really appreciate everything.
All right. Let us know if anything else changes or you want us to know anything. Very curious for any more updates, okay?
Will do. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye-bye.
I want to remind everybody that we had Rania Mancarius from Crime Stoppers on last week. And
That was good.
They know all the ways of this really
What day was
terrible-
that? That
It was
was
Friday at this time.
Friday. So go
Yeah.
to the podcast if you missed that, anywhere podcasts are found.
Share it
Because
with
7
your-
o'clock podcast,
Yeah, share it with your kids.
for sure.
what's so scary is with AI and the technology, they can actually do a video chat now
Yeah,
with AI.
that's why my brain wires got crossed from when Rania was telling us that kids were having real FaceTime chats with someone they thought was a real person, but it was a bot. It was an AI bot that looked very real.
And remember, they can take any photos. So your kid talks with someone, they send a photo. It used to be just like a nude photo they sent
Yeah.
someone.
Don't send
now
photos.
it's just any picture of them.
Yeah, they can make it look
innocent
like you're
as it
naked.
can be, and they'll deep fake it and then try to extort your child about shaming them and humiliating them and sending it to their whole school or sending it to their whole
And
neighborhood.
if you're a kid out there, your parents are there for you. Like, I know they're like,
We're
I don't
not
want to
the
tell
enemy.
I don't want to tell my parents they'll be ashamed or they'll yell at me. No,
Anybody that
they want to help you.
specifically is trying to keep you from telling any. This is what predators do, okay? They want to drive a wedge between you and the loved ones. They want to get you separated from them. So, yeah, they'll say, keep it on the down low, don't tell anybody. If anybody's telling you, don't tell anybody, run.
Yep.
Run.
Tell
That's
your
the
parents.
number. That's the number one
Don't tell
sign right there.
anybody.
Don't tell anybody that we're together.
Or don't tell anybody that you're going to leave your house at 1 a.m. and meet me somewhere.
They don't understand. They won't get it. They'll keep you from me. Don't tell them.
Ugh, don't do that.
I know. It's
Even
the
my
worst.
older friends, I still, if they go out and about for dates, I'm like, okay, where are you going and
Right.
what is the time?
You should always let somebody know where
Always,
you're at.
exactly.
And if
it
you're
doesn't
going-
matter if your age, like
Yeah.
just be safe. Because
Yeah, it doesn't matter your age. If you're going
Does not
out
matter your
together,
age.
you come home together.
Yes.
You do not let one of your friends.
Oh, I think I
Go
know
off.
him. I'm just gonna wait.
Especially with spring,
No.
spring
No.
break coming up
Oh, yeah.
in March.
Oh, yeah.
People go to like
You've been
Cancun and
drinking.
they leave. There's like 7, 8 girls.
Yeah.
And then they just separate
Two of
a
them
little bit.
separate off, or
I'm fine,
Yeah.
guys. These guys
Nope.
are fun.
Nope.
That's what they want to
Don't
do.
do
They
that.
want to
Stay
get you
together.
to branch
Nope.
off.
The drinks. Tell them about the drinks and getting drugged and just too much
Trust
danger.
me, it's-
Too much
yeah.
danger.
It's not worth it.
But go have fun.
No.
Enjoy life.
Don't you remember we got a listener line call last week where she told us the story about how he was really plying her with drinks? And
Well, he
she
picked
was
her up for the
so-
date after 2 weeks of talking, so she felt safe for him to
Yeah.
come get her. But when she got in the truck, he had tequila in the truck and wanted her to do shots. And she was like, okay, I did one, but he had laced that
He'd
liquor
roofied
with
her.
something.
I mean, first of all, we're in a vehicle.
You're not. It's
Yeah.
against the law. You're
Yeah.
not allowed to have
That's open container.
I'd be like, why are we doing this?
Right. So anyway, there's a
Not
lot to learn.
18.
Crime Stoppers is here to help you, whether you want to anonymously report something or you're looking for some help. There are a lot of resources there, crime-stoppers.org, and you can listen to the 7 o'clock a.m. Friday morning podcast to hear all the information that Rania shared with us. Now, coming up next in Celebrity Scoop, I have an unpopular opinion about a huge blockbuster movie, like one that's in the American Film Institute. And I wonder if anybody else shares my sentiment about this amazing blockbuster film.
That you didn't like?
I'm saying it sarcastically.
Is it because you didn't like the film? Or
I
is
liked
'cause
it.
there's
I
something
thought
in
it was amazing. But now that I'm older, as an adult looking back, I'm like,
Didn't age well?
we'll talk about it in Scoop.
And Celebrity Scoop.
KRBE.
It's brought to you by Taqueria Sarandas. Now, if you missed our big announcement, Katy Perry is going back on tour, guys, and she is going to come to Houston on May the 7th at the Toyota Center. Now, the tickets go on sale this Friday at livenation.com, but we are now in the window from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. when you hear Katy Perry herself tell you to call us, be caller 104 at 833-390-KRBE, and you'll score a pair of tickets to see her.
Pretty easy.
Before they even go on
Nice.
sale. So her tour is coming to Houston May the 7th. Again, tickets go on sale this Friday at livenation.com, but try and win them up until then because 7 to 7 every day will give you a chance to do that. You got to just be listening for Katy Perry's voice to tell you to call us. Okay, so over the weekend, there was a special 40th anniversary celebration at the Turner Classic Movies Film Festival where Steven Spielberg and Drew Barrymore were reunited for their work on the movie E.T. The movie E.T. is one of the big blockbuster movies of the 80s that took the world by storm. There was even a ride at Universal for years.
Still there.
They'll
And
never go away. They
Steven
said.
Spielberg
cut a
still
deal.
makes money off of that movie ride at Universal. You may have heard us talk about it here over the years on the show because Eric has a nostalgic connection to that ride.
Last ride I rode with my mom before she passed away.
Yeah, so E.T.
Not because of the ride.
No, she did not pass away because of the ride.
E.T. took my mom out.
It was one of the last
Son of
vacations
a-
they took together. But in this the celebration event, Drew Barrymore and Steven Spielberg were doing a Q&A, question and answer session. And I did not realize Steven Spielberg is 79 years old.
What? Wow. He's
He
almost
does
80?
not look 79 years
Wow,
old.
I had no idea.
Drew Barrymore is 49 years old. And Steven Spielberg said at that point, up until he made E.T., he had, just going script to script to script, movie to movie to movie. And he never really thought about starting a family or doing anything like that. But having to take care of the kids on the set of E.T., because Drew Barrymore was only 6, Drew Barrymore really made him want to become a father. And she was like, wow, my gosh, I can't believe I didn't ruin that for you.
Wow.
And they were talking about how that movie was so important for so many people and so awesome. And this movie, unpopular opinion to me, I mean, I'm going to tell you, I just don't like it. I don't think it's that good.
Oh, I do.
When I was a kid, I saw it. It scared the crap out of me. This alien looks terrifying.
Yeah.
And he gets more terrifying as the movie goes on.
This is a creepy alien.
I'm totally creeped out by E.T. When I was a child, I was obsessed because I just thought, well, because, kids are kids. And when you gravitate towards children in movies when you are a kid, because you're like, oh, it's about us. And And then when you grow up, some movies, some people will fault big movies like, the first Jurassic Park. When you look at it now, the CGI is not so great. I don't care. I still think it looks great. I think the first Jurassic Park is still amazing.
Yeah.
For some reason, E.T. has not stuck with me. I've never shown it to my children. I never have seen it again. And I just don't get it.
I've seen that movie once.
That's it?
Me too.
I've seen pieces of it. Like,
Pieces.
I'm not going to lie, I've seen pieces on TV, but never I saw it when I was a little kid. I remember going to the movie theater. I was really small.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
And I saw it.
I've seen it recently. My daughter, when she was in town, we watched it on TV at home. And because we always do we used to do a Friday night retro movie night. We'd pick something from the 80s or something, or in the 90s. And I watched it and I'm like, it really does still stand up. It's well done. It's a story of friendship and love. And
I don't know.
it's not
Wasn't the kid
corny.
drunk or something? Didn't the E.T. get drunk?
E.T. got some alcohol.
And then whatever he
situation.
felt, the kid felt.
He felt what E.T. felt.
So Steven Spielberg said he had to fight very hard to prevent E.T. from becoming a sequel. Because back in that day when he, did the movie rights and you're working with the studios and who releases and who owns the movie, he did not have what is called the freeze, where you can stop the studio from making a sequel because you controlled the freeze on the sequels, the remakes, or other uses of the film. He didn't have that.
I'm glad he stood his ground.
But he fought so hard, even though he didn't have the freeze, to keep a sequel from being made. He considered a sequel briefly for E.T., but the only storyline he could think of was they would take place on E.T.'s home planet, because the whole thing about E.T. is he's an alien that is here on Earth and he just wants to phone home. He wants to get back home.
What if they did it where E.T. comes back, but he's mad?
See, that's just a problem.
Now his best friend,
he's going to finger people.
his best friend Elliot is like in his late 50s.
Well, it doesn't matter what Elliot's age is. Why does that matter anything?
I'm just saying, like the whole
the
whole
sequel
thing
would have
about
been
it.
afterwards when they were still all kids.
Yeah. The whole thing about it.
He hobbles down
back with a vengeance.
He can't
It
run.
says that
Where's the kid?
Steven Spielberg said that they were going to be able to go to E.T.'s home and see how E.T. lives, but it was better as a novel than it would have been as a film. And so,
Well, if you do
that
the
died.
ride at Universal, you do see E.T.'s homeworld.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
I don't know what the
parts.
homeworld. I
It's
just
like
know
weird
recency
flowery
bias
stuff.
and phoning
They could
home
bring it
and
back,
the
like,
light
say,
up finger.
Drew
I just
Barrymore's,
think of Little Wayne.
what if Drew Barrymore's kid is sick and there's no cure for her?
They need E.T. to come
It's on
back.
E.T.'s
E.T.
planet.
still loves her so much, so E.T. comes back and saves the kid.
So what I don't realize, I guess, because I've only
Sounds
seen the movie
terrible, but
once
that's
when
the
I
only way
was a
they can-
kid.
It's a cute
Because he
movie.
heals
It really
people.
is.
That's why he had to go back to his planet to heal.
Oh, he heals people? That's his whole thing?
He's a healer.
There's a scene where you think E.T. is dead, and we're
It's
all
really
like,
traumatic.
we're really sad.
It's creepy.
But then
It's
you
really
realize that
creepy.
he's not dead, and I think it's a very sweet movie.
He said,
I'll have to watch it
Steven
again.
Spielberg said that he thought of E.T. He said, what if I turned my story about divorce into a story about children, a family trying to fill a great need and creating such responsibility? There is no father figure in the movie E.T. I only remember the mother, and I don't remember anything
Mom
about
and Dad
divorce
had
being
just
talked
gotten
about.
divorced. Yeah, they had just recently divorced.
Was his name Peter Coyote or something like that? Or
So I was too young then, it went over my
No,
head.
he wasn't the husband.
I just
he worked
focused
for
on Drew
the,
Barrymore and the alien.
NASA or something, like
can't
one of the
remember.
space programs.
He said a divorce creates great responsibility, especially if you have siblings. Everyone takes care of each other. What if Elliot or the kid,
no
Steven Spielberg
Goonies.
said, I hadn't dreamt up his name yet, needed to, for the first time in his life, become responsible for a life form to fill the gap in his heart because his dad wasn't there. And that's where the E.T. thing came
isn't
in.
Goonies way better?
No, I don't think
Goonies
so.
for life.
Goonies is the best.
Goonies
Yeah,
was
I do like
so
Goonies
fun.
better.
And they are supposedly, Josh Brolin has said that they're going to do a follow-up to Goonies.
It's like that and 16 Candles. They were going to do 32 Candles or something.
Oh,
Remember?
really?
By the way,
Back when she was 32.
80s teenagers, Jake Ryan turned 65 this year. So
Hi.
you probably need to get a mammogram, a colonoscopy.
He's a furniture.
All those things,
he's
ladies.
a furniture maker in Pennsylvania, not far from where you
It's
live,
the only
Sam.
film he ever did. Jake Ryan. You know
Yeah.
who Jake Ryan
No,
is,
he
Sam?
did another film.
Did
No?
he?
Hold
Okay.
on.
Oh, yeah, he did. He did Mermaids.
I say if Sam was single,
Yeah.
she'd
He
go
was in
back
Mermaids.
home and then she'd end up falling in love with the
Sam.
man who makes wood.
Sam, Jake
I don't
I don't
Ryan
know if this is
was
the right dude.
He was
the
a
hot
good-looking guy in 16 Candles.
Who drove a red Porsche.
But he looked like he was 30.
He did. He didn't look.
Well, it's the
He didn't
same
look like the kid,
conversation.
the
John
dorky kid,
Hughes.
Anthony Michael Hall. He didn't look like.
Listen,
They
it's
weren't
the
even
same
close.
conversation we had last week about looking at pictures of people on Titanic. They're like, oh, this is a 16-year-old. They're like, no, it's not. It's a 132-year-old.
Well, John Hughes always had a deal where he'd cast like older people playing
the
high school
guy,
kids,
Eric.
and they never
Yeah,
looked
Jake
like high
Ryan.
school kids.
But Jake Ryan was his role. His name's not legit Jake
No, his
Ryan.
name is Ryan
Bad photo.
Sheffling
Look
or
at
something.
Type in 16 Candles and type
You
in.
can't find a current picture of him. He doesn't he's off the grid. I've Googled. It's really hard to see.
Maybe if he had blue eyes.
Well, all of it was very.
It was all right.
I mean, now you watch it, there are things that are not allowed to be filmed anymore.
So many
or said.
un-PC things in 16
But the point
Candles.
in 16 Candles.
Yes, but the premise of 16 Candles is the hot older guy actually notices the freshman sophomore girl who didn't think she existed. And then you're like, oh my God, he drives a Porsche. My thing is, my parents would never let me leave my sister's wedding reception to go on a date.
I don't know,
That is so unrealistic.
It's kind of a tool. Think about
You're
it.
not coming to the wedding reception?
Right. That's,
because the guy has a Porsche and the dad gives her a thumbs up.
And he looks like he's 30. You know what he's going to do?
You go have sex.
Time for KRBE's Roula and Ryan show to tell you what's going down in H-Town.
Okay, so this is a very interesting story that you can find on cron.com. Less than 20% of Houston ISD's high school graduates will earn enough money to make a living wage in Harris County 6 years after they graduate. So for the first 6 years after they graduate, they can't even make enough money to live on their own. A single adult
I feel like
needs...
that's not a shocking stat. Wasn't that the case even 20 years ago? I couldn't make a living wage when I graduated.
Stay off those credit cards.
So here are the stats in Houston. In Houston, a single adult needs to earn $42,158 a year to cover their basic needs in Harris County. This is $12,337 a year for housing, $9,823 a year for transportation, $3,785 for food, and $3,168 for medical costs. So the very basic needs to be a single adult in Houston, Texas, and be sufficient is $42,158.
That's actually very low compared to other cities. Can you imagine?
If you New York, I tried to tell my daughter that.
Houston's a very affordable city.
Like, I think I'd like to go San Diego State University or something. Like, you know how expensive it is to go there, first of all?
Out of state tuition?
Say if you wanted to be a therapist or something, then you're studying there. And if you want to end up living in California, hell no.
That's
crazy. If you want to move, like my daughter's living in Los Angeles right now, and I tried to warn her, like what the cost is, it's literally double. More than double what we pay for in Houston. I think it's like 58% higher. It's crazy. By the way, we were talking about Mo, Roula, Eric, and myself. Mo's coming in on the show, Mo Hammer. And
Mo on Netflix.
We've been watching the pre-screen of season 2. And if you want to see Mo before everybody else, you can actually check him out Wednesday night at the River Oaks Theater. Tickets are free. And you can go to theriveroakstheater.com. And that's theater, R-E at the end. So River Oaks Theater. So they'll have screenings at 12:15 in the afternoon all the way through 10:30 at night. They're going to give you the first 2 episodes.
So binge watch the first season if you never saw it before. But it's great because you see all of Houston. Somebody mentions
Houston.
He's on the zoo train.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, Inmate Park. All kinds of cool
you can walk
things.
from Pearland to the Heights and...
I know. There's things that we know.
The little part. Remember, he's making this show for the whole world, and it is really a good show.
And he's always repping our teams.
Mm-hmm.
That is for sure.
Rockets and Astros and Texans. It's pretty cool.
He's got it down with his coordinated hats and
You didn't have
shirts.
a Dynamo hat.
No. He represented. He had
Give
the
the
old
man
school.
a break. He got everybody
Spoiler
else.
for season 2. He's got a vintage Rockets jersey. I like that.
It's all Houston
the
all
one
the
from the
time
90s
on
when
the
they were
show,
champs.
Oh, sweet.
All Houston all the time on the show, Moan. Bring back the chicken cone.
Oh, yeah.
Chicken coon.
Where's the chicken cone? Okay. Coming up next, deal-breaking dating habits are certain hobbies that are presented to you on a date in small talk. Dating deal breakers. The person says, well, I like to collect bird carcasses.
We had that happen.
Yeah.
We did.
I was thinking
There
that.
is a woman listening to our show who collects bird carcasses. This and more next on the Roula and Ryan Show.